Hi, this is Joseph Backholm with the Family Policy Institute with a review of legislative activity for this week. The legislative session was supposed to end yesterday on Thursday, March 10th. There was a number of activities at the end of the session honoring the retiring senators and legislators. However, the legislature neglected to pass a supplemental budget. And this is the second year of a two-year biennium. In the year prior, they passed the budget to fund the government. And in this year, the second year of the biennium, they're supposed to pass a supplemental budget, which is essentially just small tweaks and changes and revisions to the original budget based on whatever has happened in the prior year. So typically, it's not supposed to be a big budget fight. But the reality is, the House and the Senate could not agree on a budget. The Senate passed a budget that included about $38 million in new funding because they had $38 million more in additional revenue based on their existing revenue streams. However, the House budget included a bunch of proposals for significantly more spending for things like public employers, for teachers as well, and it included about $300 million of spending that wasn't possible under the current revenue structure, so they had proposed a number of tax increases as well to fund those things. The House didn't have the votes to pass those tax increases, but it was in the proposed budget that they never passed. The Senate did have votes and they passed the budget, but the result was they didn't agree on the terms of those things. So what Governor Inslee has done in response is been required to call a special session, but what's been different about this as well is that Governor Inslee actually went through the process of vetoing 27 different bills that the legislature had passed. And it was kind of this gesture basically saying that you spent time on these bills which weren't as important as the budget, therefore I'm going to punish you. It's kind of, it's a strange response to this, but I think it's his attempt to be kind of provide some leadership and assert some leadership in the situation. So now a special session again has been called. Last year there were 3 special sessions to deal with the underlying budget. Now we have the first special session to deal with the supplemental budget. There was kind of an expectation at the beginning of this year that this would all be done within the regularly scheduled 60-day session, but alas, that is not the case, so we see how long special sessions go. And this is an election year, which means, there's a lot of politics at play as always. On one hand, the legislators really want to be done because they can't fundraise if they're in session. On the other hand, they all have constituencies to please and special interests to go fundraise from. And if they haven't accomplished what the special interests wanted, are they going to agree to let them down heading into an election? So that's kind of the dynamics at play. Of course, the Democrat-led House, they really want to take care of their public employee unions, which give a lot of money to their constituencies. The Republican-led Senate doesn't want to raise taxes and do things because their constituencies depend on them not doing that. So another example of an irresistible force meeting an immovable object. Who will win? That remains to be seen. That is the suspense now of the extra legislative session, so stay tuned. On the issues that we've been following, the marriage, life, religious freedom issues, you know that parental notification advanced a little bit, but it did not become law, unfortunately. You know that there was a hearing on a bill to ban sex selection abortion. That bill made it through the Senate Judiciary Committee, but did not get a vote on the Senate. You also know that there was a bill in the Senate to repeal the Human Rights Commission's open bathroom rule. That bill also did not make it into law. Therefore, that leads us to an update on the initiative that has been proposed to repeal that open bathroom policy. JustWantPrivacy.org, and the organization is Just Want Privacy. The website is JustWantPrivacy.org, has been set up to allow you to become part of that effort to repeal the open bathroom policy. By July 8th, Just Want Privacy will need to deliver 325,000 valid petitions to the Secretary of State's office. If they do so successfully, then that that initiative will appear on this year's ballot. You need 246,000 valid signatures, but you need well north of 300,000 total signatures to make sure that you have a margin of error to account for duplicate signatures and invalid signatures. So that's the big effort. Everybody is encouraged, if you care about that issue, to move on over to justwantprivacy.org, sign up to be a volunteer, be a regional petition center, become part of that effort as well. And so that's going to be a big part of the year moving into November. And if you care about privacy, if you care about keeping the boys out of the girls' locker room, if you care about the safety and security at stake in that issue, certainly encourage you to do so. But we're also going to be seeing, how long will this session last? No one knows. But do stay tuned here as we will provide updates as they are available. Look forward to having you with us. We'll see you next time.